you then share with us a few examples on 3D sound use cases that are starting to gain momentum?
Well, clearly gaming and movies, that's for sure. More and more 3D use cases there. And of course VR. AR, not so much yet, but it's coming, clearly. It is coming. That's just a matter of time. There's also something that is being pushed right now, and that is 3D music. And I'm not sure whether it's catching on. There's been tries with surround sound for music, like, what was that, 10, 15 years ago, and it never really caught on. And I think the reason is that it also is a quite complex mixing process, and also the availability to actually listen to it. Stereo content is quite rich when it comes to music, actually. When you go to a concert, what you're hearing is still like mostly frontal sound. The rest is more like ambience. And as with all new formats, there's a tendency to exaggerate. We saw that even with the Beatles example with stereo, and now we're seeing it, I think, again with like 3D music. You know, Sony and Dolby are having 3D music formats, but what we're hearing from users to date is at least they're not really impressed, because it's more like, it feels a little bit gimmicky, it sounds weird, a lot of people think, but it could catch on still. I mean, if done right, it has some potential when you actually do it in sort of a tasteful way and actually use the surround and the height in a meaningful way to create ambience and the feeling of being there, rather than put the guitars above you and the bass below you or whatever, you know. That becomes just weird. I think right now what we're seeing is for sure gaming, all kinds of gaming experiences. Then there's other actually use cases in cars, which is more in the safety systems and driver alerts, and actually getting directional alerts. So there's, in Sweden we have these elks walking around, and the cars are starting to detect them, fortunately. And then the driver can be alerted and have the sound come from the right direction. It's not like really that three-dimensional. The height direction is not so important, but at least directional sound. That's being put into more cars for sure. So there are a few different examples of use cases there as well.